What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the latest speculation on Naomi and Sasha Banks, are more superstars getting their names back, AEW teasing another former WWE superstar's arrival, what is going on with backstage morale with Triple H in charge, Liv Morgan changing her appearance, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the latest speculation on Naomi and Sasha Banks. The top of today's news is the latest speculation on Naomi and Sasha Banks. By now, you've heard every possible contingency about the former women's tag team champions, with initial stories indicating Naomi and the Boss were out of the WWE door, followed by a complete 180 following Vince McMahon's exit. Now the talk is that both superstars are headed back to the WWE, but when? Well, Dave Meltzer shared his thoughts recently on the Sunday Night Main Event show, saying, everyone expects that they're in, it's just a question of which week they want to debut them. The WWE has no need to bring Naomi and Sasha back right away, as many fans believe it's only a question of when they're coming back, which likely would lead to fans tuning in hoping that this will be the week the tandem shows up. Meltzer mused further, saying, so since they're not in the tournament, I'm guessing that it's going to be a finals of the tournament or right after the finals that they show up. That's kind of how I'm reading it now. I guess they just felt it wasn't good to put them in the tournament itself. I think that they want to stagger these new and returning people coming in. Sasha and Naomi are obviously the biggest ones they can bring in, so they don't need to do it in week 1. Everybody seems to think that they're in, it's just a question of which week. Now, we've discussed the situation before, noting the likeliest scenario is for Naomi and Sasha Banks to show up after the new set of tag team champions have been crowned, then challenge and or lay out the new champions. Another possibility is for Naomi and Banks to destroy one of the tournament's teams and replace them, but we think the first scenario will play out. Whatever happens, it seems like fans are looking for any sign of a return. Naomi may have helped in that department, as she gave fans another tidbit hinting at a return when she posted a TikTok video of herself and the Boss with the following caption: Mercedes Venado, I got her front, she got my back. What do you think is next for Naomi and Banks? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, more WWE superstars getting their names back. Speaking of Meltzer, he noted in the latest issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Triple H could restore more names for WWE superstars who've had their names shortened by Vince McMahon. Some of the weird name quirks may be changing. Angel has already noted he's getting the Garza name back, which is notable because that is a family name, and under Vince, the idea was no last names that have been used prior to WWE unless somebody is already established in WWE with that name, or a Gable Steveson type. The belief is that Humberto will get Carrillo back as well. Ringside News speculated on another WWE superstar who could get their name back, as they told readers Pete Dunne took to Twitter and uploaded a photo of himself and Ridge Holland attacking Oni Lorcan, aka Biff Busick, and Danny Burch on September 7th, 2021 edition of NXT. Many fans believe Dunne hinted at returning to his Bruiserweight gimmick. Now, although Dunne has performed well in his role as Sheamus and Ridge Holland's unpredictable ally, fans who enjoyed his NXT persona would probably appreciate him ditching the Butch gimmick. One of the more interesting scenarios would be whether Dunne would stay alongside Sheamus and Holland. Could fans see him break off on his own, or even bring Holland back with him and form a new team? Like many fans, we're still processing a return to a semblance of sanity following Mr. McMahon's retirement. It'll be interesting to see what other Vinnie Mac quirks are phased out as Triple H continues reshaping the WWE as he sees fit. Do you think there will be many wrestlers who will get their full names back? Who needs their full name back? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Eric Bischoff talks WWE returns. As Triple H continues to shake up the WWE like an earthquake, could fans see the return of Eric Bischoff? Well, this certainly wouldn't be Easy's first time in the WWE, as he's appeared as an on-air authority figure for several years before a short run as one of WWE's executive producers in its creative department. Bischoff recently appeared on the YouTube show Shaq Wrestling and answered a question about returning to Titleland. No, because there's no need for me. What I have to contribute at this point is we're beginning to see on television. Maybe this is just me being so hyper optimistic, because the last 10 years of wrestling has bored the F out of me. I want to be excited about it. I want to be interested. I've talked about it. I've been in the business for 35 years. Damn, I want to be excited about the business, but it's just bored me to death for such a long time. Eric Bischoff went on to say that he had hoped AEW would turn things around, but the promotion disappointed him while the WWE continued producing lackluster television. But based on the former WCW bigwig's comments, Eric seems to have abandoned hope that AEW can produce anything fresh and entertaining. However, he does seem to feel this hope in WWE right now, which is why the company doesn't need him. He explained, "That discipline and that story structure and the commitment to the format and episodic television is the one thing that separated me from everybody else that was doing it for a long time. But if they figured that out in WWE, hell, they don't need to spend the plane ticket on me." It's interesting to hear Bischoff discuss how his help is needed, not only because he seems cautiously optimistic about the WWE's new direction, but that he also feels he could have helped the WWE. You may recall Bischoff's run as executive director for creative proved to be a cup of coffee, as fans kept hearing reports of Bischoff being brought up to speed for weeks before the WWE finally released him with no report of any major contributions by him. Do you think Bischoff could help the WWE in creative, or is an authority figure? Next up, AEW teasing another former WWE superstar's arrival. Is AEW teasing the arrival of yet another former superstar? Or as AEW continues signing former WWE talent, it's often difficult to tell if something on AEW television is a tease or an actual hint that a future endeavored superstar will be All Elite. Miro has been working a program with the House of Black, as Malakai's fiendish faction has invited him to join. House of Black member Julia Hart appeared on the 10th August Dynamite, telling Miro to embrace the gift, give into it like I did, as she touched his chin. The former TNT champion took Hart's hand and told her, "There's only one woman who can touch the Redeemer, and you're not her." Hart recently began following Miro on social media, leading to his real-life wife CJ Perry, aka former superstar Lana, tweeting a screenshot showing "Julia followed you" and posting, "All the way to my husband apparently." This isn't the first time Miro has alluded to Perry without naming her. Fans have heard him boast about his wife several times in interviews, fueling the rumors that CJ could show up in AEW. Next up, morale up with Triple H running the show. There's a noticeable change to the WWE product, with fans seeming to enjoy the change in direction. However, how are the WWE's various superstars reacting? According to a recent report from Fightful Select, several WWE superstars were optimistic the first night of the game's run on Raw. Dakota Kai's return was also seen as favourable. Although it would be a mistake to gouge any change in morale from such a small sampling, it makes sense that the WWE superstars would be at least optimistic with a change from Vince McMahon. Just as we've suggested that the fans' ultimate opinion of the new regime will have to wait for things to play out, such will be the case with the WWE's roster. If Triple H shakes up the roster as much as some fans expect, it seems inevitable that some stars will lose their spots, leading to grumblings backstage. And finally, Liv Morgan changing her appearance. And last but not least, is Liv Morgan changing up her appearance. The current SmackDown Women's Champion teased fans when she posted a picture of what she'd look like with dark hair, leading to a fan tweeting, "Liv, if you get black hair, I'm going to go feral." Morgan recently tweeted back saying, "Stay tuned." This wouldn't be the first time Morgan has teased a radical makeover. You may recall her teasing cutting off all her hair and returning with a new look after she lost a match to Charlotte in 2019. Now, a makeover along with a new attitude could help Morgan establish herself as a tougher competitor rather than the hapless babyface she's currently portraying. While her fan base may not let her change, it may be the only way to get her over with the majority of the WWE universe who are currently booing her and cheering for Ronda Rousey to come back and destroy her. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.